Good morning, good morning. I guess I don't normally record these in the morning, but I just finished my oatmeal, some berries in it. I had a little bit of peanut butter on the side. Absolutely delicious. I did something kind of different today. I sat cross-legged on my bed in front of the window in the sun and ate my oatmeal. It was, oh my gosh, dude, such a great way to start the morning. I wanted to make this commentary, though, because I went to Twitchcon, and Twitchcon was such a blast. Holy cow, guys. It's kind of funny, I think, that I went to TwitchCon, and I'm not much of a streamer. I'm gonna be honest. I went there and kind of felt like an imposter the entire time. But hey, it was fun. I went mainly because I had a whole bunch of speedrunning friends going, so I stayed in an Airbnb with like 14 of them. And dude, it was so much fun. Probably one of the highlights was the actual TwitchCon convention, which is kind of funny to say because I don't normally like conventions. But it was only one day. One day of the convention that I actually went to and cared about. Everything else was, it's like, I don't know. At least for me, the conventions that I go to, it's just like a whole bunch of booths of companies promoting their products and whatever, and I don't really have a care for that. There's a couple booths of like small communities, but I don't really have one that I prefer to go see. The coolest thing about TwitchCon was watching MCC live for the first time. It was the first time it's happened live, but it was also the first time I've seen a full MCC, like all the way through. I've only watched parts beforehand and like highlights, so I kind of know what it's about. But I got so invested in the game. It also helped because one of the people that was in our Airbnb was Fruitberries, and he was playing in the event, so we cheered him on. That was super fun. And we had two commentators, Curryway and Fulham, who also stayed in our Airbnb. So we were kind of cheering them on as well. We were like, yeah, let's go! Their commentating actually was like very impressive. I was super proud of like Curryway, dude. I thought that commentating was so hype. I feel like he explained a lot of things that I don't know, I didn't really get as like a first time MCC enjoyer. So I think the Yellow Yaks one was like Captain Sparkle's team. I think Antfrost was on there or something. But that was the only day I was actually at the convention. The only other things I did was like talk to SB once and get lunch. That was literally it. But before I move on from the actual convention, get on to the rest of it, because that was kind of fun. One story I do want to mention is when I was getting my badge. So I think the day before the convention, they opened up slots where you can pick up like your badge, your ticket, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And when I did that, I go up to this booth, I talk to this guy, I give him my ID. He's like, okay, this looks good. You're all good to go. And I took him saying, you're all good to go, as I can walk away now. He didn't give me the badge or anything, but I just sort of walked away into the convention. And somebody was handing out bags. I was like, oh, can I snag one of these? They're like, oh, yeah, sure. And then I was like, wait a second. Everybody around me has a badge. Did I just forget it? So I had to go back to the guy, like a couple minutes later, and he's like, bro, what were you doing? You didn't even get your badge. You just left. So that was kind of funny. But the funny thing was one of my friends, Silver, right after did the exact same thing. Or I think it was Silver. It might not have been Silver. No. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the people in our group. So I thought that was kind of funny. MCC was pretty good, but honestly, I think my favorite part, okay, it might be tied between two things. Bowling, which I'll talk about in a sec, but doing a 5-person live stream. That was so cool. So most of the people, I think pretty much everybody there, I'd only ever spoken to online, and we hang out like a pretty good amount. But it was so cool to be in person. And one of the cool things you can do in person is have 4 people on the same keyboard and 1 person controlling the mouse, so that you can speedrun Minecraft as a 5-man squad. It was actually so much fun. It was pretty chaotic. So everybody on the keyboard, there was 4 of us, got like a movement key, so like WASD, and then we split up all of the hotbar slots, and then pretty much every other key we split up as well. So like escape, shift, control. So me personally, I had S, like backwards, spacebar, and the number 8 hot slot. And then the person who was actually running the stream, Rainax, that was his name, he had control of the mouse. And so we definitely did not play the greatest, but it was so much fun, dude. It was so hard to like coordinate, because to do like to build a nether portal, dude, you need everybody to be listening to each other, coordinated, and that might be my favorite memory on the TwitchCon. It was streamed too, so I guess you could watch it. Maybe I'll try and leave a link in the description. I probably should have said something about it. I don't know if any of you would really care to have watched that, but that was kind of cool. I guess we had like a face cam. There was like 5 of us crammed around this tiny little keyboard, so that was cool. The other thing that is contending for my favorite moment at TwitchCon, though, is bowling. And this happened the last night of TwitchCon. So it's like 11 o'clock at night. We just had a big group dinner. And I don't know, just something about the overall vibe was really cool. It was kind of sad because this was like the last thing we were going to be doing together. It was a 6-day trip. So I got really used to just hanging out with them every single day. And I was like, oh, dang, dude. It's like, I probably won't see all these people in person for like a year after this, which is kind of sad, but bowling was very fun. One thing I will mention from the bowling is kind of weird. I'd never had this happen at a bowling alley before, but this guy comes on the intercom. It's like a robot voice or like a pre-recorded thing. Actually, maybe it wasn't pre-recorded. Maybe I'm just going crazy. But a guy goes on the intercom and says to everybody who's up bowling currently, he stops the entire game and is like, congratulations, you have been like nominated, or like you're now contending for a prize. And so we had like 3 lanes, and so we had 3 people up out of like the group of, I don't know, 14, 15, 20 of us, because I think some more people joined. We had 3 people up here suddenly just joining, like contending for this prize. And he's like, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you each get 1 bowl, and whoever gets a strike first gets a prize. I can't remember what the prize was. Maybe he didn't even say a prize. But the point was, you're going to get a prize if you bowled well. So we had all 3 of our dudes on like an 8-10 lane bowling lane. So we have a pretty good shot for one of the people in our party to get this mysterious prize. So they all line up. They're focused up. The guy says 3, 2, 1, bowl! And 2 of us get gutters, and the 3rd person gets 1. So I think we just kind of choked because we're a little bit nervous. But overall, I was really impressed with like the bowling skill of everybody there. Kind of contradicting getting 2 gutters and a single bowl. But seriously, everybody there, like, I think I'm an okay bowler, but I just remember like bowling around and I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are good. Afterwards, I think we all said our goodbyes. We had one last night of sleep, and then I left early in the morning. So I think I woke up before most of the people, so I didn't even like say goodbye to anybody, which was kind of sad. Well, I mean, I said goodbye the night before, but there was like a handful of people I didn't say goodbye to, so that was kind of lame. But I had to catch my Uber, and I definitely didn't want to wake anybody up. We, as a group, we all stayed up pretty late and woke up pretty late every day. I think the earliest I woke up, I was like one of the early people waking up, which was kind of crazy. I was waking up at like 9, and that was early, dude. It was also super fun because one of the guys, he brought his PC, which I probably should have mentioned. That's how we did the live stream. But like, we just like we didn't do this the entire time, but we played like Minecraft like together. We would watch like I remember watching Fruit do parkour on like the MCCI server, watching like Silver speedrun on the computer. It was super fun. On the plane ride back though, and sort of in the last couple of days of TwitchCon, I just felt like motivated to just do a lot of stuff, which probably helped because I came home and needed to finish a video. That's the one I posted yesterday. When you're watching this, I just barely looked at it, and you guys seem to be liking it. It was a hide and seek video, and editing went pretty smooth, which was kind of cool. But I feel like I've been in a good flow the past day or two with speedrunning, editing, coming up with ideas. I have a couple of things in the works, so we'll see how those go. But I've also started speedrunning again, which might sound weird. If you're watching this channel, you're like, Rek, dude, you've been speedrunning this entire time. What are you talking about? I mean, resetting speedrunning, like legit stuff for like times that can go on the leaderboard. Most of the stuff I do is ranked speedrunning, which is when you have like an opponent who's of similar level to you, and you speedrun on not a predetermined, but like a a better seed than a normal Minecraft world. Like, you're guaranteed to have a bastion close and a fortress close, so you can actually play it out. But the footage you're watching right now, this is a completely random seed, which is something I stopped doing 2-3 months ago because it just took a toll on like my mental well-being, dude. I feel like I would spend 6 hours like resetting over and over trying to get a good Minecraft world, and then I get nothing, and I would feel terrible because I'm like, wow, I just wasted 6 hours. I didn't even get a good speedrun. What am I doing with my life? But I've been resetting the past couple of days, and it's felt really nice. Number one, because I think I'm just better and I can play out more worlds, so it takes less time to get a good world to play out. But also, I feel like, I don't know, my mentality on it has shifted. Maybe it's just because it's a little new. I'm going to try not to get super invested in resetting, but I do want to push for a better PB. My current actual PB is 11 minutes and 18 seconds, even though I've gotten an 8-minute run in ranked, but that's ranked, so it's kind of a different category. It would be kind of cool to get like a legit run that's faster, and it would be really cool to get a run with a 0 cycle, which is what I'm setting up for right now. We'll see if I hit it. I can't remember exactly how this 0 goes, but if I get a PB, hopefully it can be verified on the leaderboard, because I think my current leaderboard time is something like 13 minutes. I'm pretty sure my actual PB couldn't even get verified because I wasn't recording my wall, which is kind of sad. But I think I have everything set up, so if we do get a PB, then it'll actually be on the leaderboard in like 3 months, because that's usually how long it takes for runs to get verified. Honestly, it might take longer than 3 months, but we'll see what happens. I actually thought I messed up this 0, but I didn't. But then I kind of look at the dragon to make sure it's still going to the node, and I don't know. This 0 cycle is kind of scuffed, and you'll see why in a second. This is actually pretty good pace. My current PB would have just finished, so this would only be, I don't know, a handful of seconds behind. But look at that, dude. The dragon went down to literally 1 HP, and then it goes down to 1 HP again. So I jump at it and try to axe it out of the air in desperation. But I don't get it, and that was honestly just a really scuffed 0 cycle. And I should be streaming later today, doing Block Wars, so if you want to check that out, I'll try to leave a description, but that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.